Hi, I'm Daris Lancaster, clinical hypnotherapist and life coach. And today we're talking about holiday stress and some tips for coping with stress as well as eliminating and relieving it during the holiday season. And right now we're going to be talking about one really common stressor, doing too much in too little time. So how can I avoid the stress of having way too much to do and too little time to do it in? This is a really common feeling most of us get because added to our normal daily routine, we have all of the events, all of the meal planning, the travel, the gift shopping, decorating, all the list of to-do items gets longer and longer. So one of the first things you can realize that you need to do is to plan ahead. Now, again, we know that the holidays are coming. We experience them about once a year. So if you plan ahead, knowing that you're going to be busier, you can actually decide, like some people, to begin shopping earlier. Shop early and often. You can do a lot of things early. Some people will find that addressing their Christmas or their holiday cards early can really put a jump on. Even putting the stamp on it and throwing it in the mail when the holidays approach closer can be really just something that you'd be amazed at how much time and stress relief it can cause. Another thing you can do to relieve the stress of having too much to do is learn to say no. No. It's one word. It's a complete sentence. No. You can add to it, no thank you, no I'm too busy, but generally just no. Being able to say no, if you look at your schedule and realize you have too many events scheduled, 3 events for one weekend is too much for some people. And again, it might be that exhilarating and motivating thing for someone else. But if you find that doing too much is a source of stress for you, make sure that you're aware of your calendar, aware of the planning, and be able to say no. Another thing that you can do to eliminate the stress of doing too much in too little time is to delegate. Now, if you're going to choose to delegate, you have to keep in mind about who you are delegating to. If you choose to delegate to someone that you know won't follow through, well, that's your own expectations. It's going to lead to more stress. So as you choose to delegate, the common myth of I can do it faster, better, than anyone else needs to go out the window. It comes down to, do I need to do it myself with the risk of it possibly not getting done? Then you can choose to delegate the things that you feel comfortable letting go to someone else. One easy way to delegate is, instead of doing all the holiday festive meal planning and hosting yourself, to have a meal where you're the host, where you create the environment and the setting, and your guests bring the meal. Another thing that's very helpful to handle the stress of doing too much in too little time is to really take time for yourself, to be able to take quick breaks, to be able to have an escape, a haven to go to be able to learn some techniques and tips such as mindfulness practice, which we'll talk about later. It's the practice of being present, and deep relaxation techniques, and even self-hypnosis techniques that can really change the mindset and turn just a moment's time into a really good de-stressing break. One thing that people tend to miss when they're caught up in the hectic, busy state of the holidays with too much to do in too little time is that they're not enjoying the journey along the way to the destination. A lot of people say that after the holiday is over, they feel a huge sense of disappointment. After the gifts are opened Christmas morning, for example, or the holiday meal is eaten, they just feel a letdown. Well, clearly if they had learned to enjoy the journey or been able to enjoy the journey along the way, they would not have that empty feeling afterward. To be able to enjoy the journey, to not dread it. For example, let's use a holiday meal. You put a lot of anticipation and expectation into the holiday meal. When the holiday meal is over, if it didn't turn out as you wished, rather than being in the moment and enjoying what was really happening, a lot of times you might just feel that it wasn't appreciated and that they didn't receive it as you wish they did. One thing you can also do is to realize that during interactions like that, you can actually take charge of the situation if you're aware and being present in the moment. Things like stopping negativity. So I hope that some of these tips for reducing stress of having too much to do in too little time during the holiday has been helpful for you. And next we're going to be talking about relationships and family interactions and how to avoid the stress of those during the holidays.